So yeah, Monica time. Hi again, my dude. How's the writing going? Seems Monica approached before I went to her. So, it's going well enough, I guess. You want to see how it's going yourself? Monica is still pretty enthusiastic about my poetry. Must be the club president equivalent of watching a baby learn how to walk. Why did I put it like that? I passed my poem over to Monica. Monica's doing a little reading. Oh. Huh? Is it really that bad? Huh? Oh, no, it's fine. You looked really disappointed in it, though. Can I ask you a question about your poem, my dude? Sure, shoot. Did you make this poem for Natsuki? For Natsuki? I mean, I was inspired by her poem yesterday, sure. But I didn't make it for her. Huh? I see. That's the only question you had about my poem? Ah, crap. What's up with the colors, I guess? It's obvious Monica doesn't really care about my poem. But why? I don't think it was that much worse than the poem I made for yesterday. Is it the lack of existential themes? I don't think Monica's that superficial, right? I wanted to pair a word motif along with the rhyme scheme. That's pretty cool, my dude. The forced way Monica said that only further cements my assumption that she doesn't care at all. Can I just see your poem now, Monica? Alright, my dude. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think about it. Is she serious? Whatever, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Be the bigger man and all that. Monica hands me her poem. Which I now read. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, waveform, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless... Load me. Monica? I've got a few questions about your poem. Oh yeah? Go on, ask me anything. In almost perfect contrast to how she reacts to my poem, Monica is very enthusiastic to talk more about her poem. Well, first I guess, what's up with the computer theming? Like the final line, load me. What's up with that? You seem very enthused about this. Well, my dude, I was inspired by everything around us being... Huh? Monica was just here. Where did she... You know you can't do that, Monica. Glitch font. Glitch font's back. Love glitch font. You. Holy crap, Monica. You look like you've seen a ghost. Are you alright? I didn't think computers were that traumatizing. Do you want to answer my other question about your poem, or do you want to, like, sit down and get some water? Sure. What's your other question, my dude? Is she seriously trying to put on a brave face after what looks like a panic attack? I gotta tell Saori about this later. Well, why is your poem kinda... insane? Monica walks back to the teacher's desk, sits down in the chair, and plants her face firmly on the table. Fair enough. Please take care of yourself, Monica. Let me know if you need anything. After telling that to the now catatonic Monica, I grabbed my poem from where she left it. That was a lot. Sayori's poem has me worried about her. Yuri's poem has me worried about her too. I don't even know where to start with Monica. And Natsuki? She may or may not have something going on at home. I just don't have enough information to know either way. And what I do know sucks. Natsuki now knows I'm scared of spiders! Who should I talk to about this? Everyone here has something going on. My parents are out of town for the foreseeable future, and I don't think I have enough information to warrant talking to a counselor or a teacher. Is it even my place to say anything? For all I know, I'm just getting worked up over some slips of paper they wrote for a club assignment and nothing more. It's just... today's been really weird. Okay, everyone! Yeah! Monica interrupted my train of thought. Wait, Monica? I guess she's recuperated enough to address the club. We're all done reading, right? What's your plan today? Is about the festival, vanilla, because it's all about the, the sharing the poems I mentioned earlier. Not a fan at crunch time either. Don't need to worry so much, because we're going to keep it simple. We don't need more than just a few decorations. Poems. It proceeds working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can get out during the event. Oh, is that what Sayori was doodling for earlier? So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Sayori was coloring her posters. Performing. Oh, yeah, it seems about right. Yuri would be nervous about that. Poetry performance. Sure, choose a poem. The cool part is we're also going to let anyone else come up who can recite poems too. And I'm being honest, Monica, that doesn't really sound that cool. There she is. Sayori shows off a poster that she's been coloring on. It's a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Didn't sign up for this. These two are little bottoms. Not with that attitude. After what I assume to be imagining performing in front of people, Yuri shudders. Nope, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Never shared poems. Neither have I. Guess kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. By expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself. What? Pause. Finding new horizons, having fun. Hey, I like fun. That's right. We all do. Take staying in the prom. You could be a bunch of cowards. I still seem hesitant. Sayori's worried. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. Sayori and Monica have both worked pretty hard to get more members for the club. So if all you have to do is spend a minute or two reading a poem to help them out, we should do it. Besides, both of your poems are pretty good. I'm sure the audience would enjoy them. Maybe, but it seems Natsuki ran out of things to argue about. And there was some way out. Sigh. Did she really just say the word sigh? Guess there only have a choice. I lean over to Yuri. Hey, if you want, we can talk about advice for getting in front of people after we talk about the book. Oh, okay. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, she'll be fine, Yuri. Choose a poem, practice reciting. No way. Alright, start us off. So we can go next. Monica finds her poem, The Way They Fly. Monica is reciting. I expected the person to come with this whole idea. She speaks clearly and confidently. Her inflection's pretty good too. She probably practiced reading this poem before. Everyone else is enthralled. Clubs were closed. The four of us applaud. That was so good. Thank you very much. Yuri's going next, by the way. Dang, alright. You soon get her poem. She stands up, keeping her head down. She walks over to the poem. The poem is called... You can do it, Yuri. Remember to project. You got this. It's called After Image of Crimson Eye. Quivers as she starts, which is a step up from refusing to pour him entirely, to be fair. After Yuri has the first couple lines, her cadence changes. Yuri is absorbed into the reading, which is good as far as the performance is concerned. Her tone becomes sharp and confident. The poem is a bit of a roller coaster, twisting and turning structurally, but Yuri manages to navigate the enunciation with ease. See, I told her she'd be fine. The poem suddenly stops. I make sure to give Yuri her well-earned applause. No awkward silence that makes Yuri sad. Everyone joins in with me shortly after. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and goes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Ah, Yuri is completely spent. Happens to the best of us. Sayori's up next, hops out of her chair. This one's called My Meadow. I don't get it. Sorry, I giggled. What, is your poem funny looking? Be quiet, my dude. It's a lot harder being up here than I thought. How'd you guys do it so easily? I don't think it was that easy for Yuri. Trying to think of reciting. Vanilla, 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 vanilla. I'm talking wafers. Nilla. The concepts of her poem itself are serene and bittersweet. So not nearly as problematic as what she shared with me today. One point towards it's just art, I guess. That said, Sayori's delivery really sells this poem. It's honestly a really beautiful experience to be in the midst of. We applaud. Sayori did it. You sure did. That was great, Sayori. Haha, even my dude liked it. I thought I was being pretty supportive to everyone. What does she mean by that? I guess it's a good sign. Nilla, nilla, nilla. Vanilla. Don't make me go for my dude. It's not gonna compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let my dude lower everyone's standards a little bit before I have to do it. That's mean! Nah, that's alright. I'll make sure to give my best performance. I guess I'll read the poem I made for today. I get my butt on my chair and behind that podium. Everyone's got their eyes on me, as was expected. I begin reciting my poem. Despite the relatively lackluster content, I make sure to give proper attention to cadence and enunciation while remembering to project my voice. I give a sort of bouncy feel for the earlier lines, but transition to something slower and more deliberate when I reach the Rinner section. I get the last line particular emphasis, as was intended. When it's finished, I receive the standard round of applause. So, Natsuki, how was it? Good. Better than you expected? Don't worry, if I can do better than you think, you should be fine. Now get up here. Yeah. What was called? Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting? You see, fun fact about this line, in the original game, there is no question mark, there's just the ellipses. And so, like, the tone would be, because you're presenting, ... Whereas, I think it's funnier to have the question, because you're presenting? Inflection on it. Poem is called Jump. When she gets to her poem, her grumpy attitude fades just a little. While she still seems unenthused with sharing, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it, which is to be expected from Natsuki. It does translate well into spoken word. The words feel like they bounce up and down, which I suppose is fitting for a poem called Jump. Natsuki finishes, to which we all applaud. See, I told you it'd be fine. Easy for you to say. Nilla, vanilla. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. Red flag? But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's how it is. So in the other case, you have to worry about the festival. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you pick a poem. I'm making pamphlets, so pick me a poem. Alright. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Nilla, vanilla. I can't wait for Monday. It's looking like Yuri is gonna really need that talk later. I get up from my chair and grab my stuff. Ready to go grab groceries, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two. You even buy groceries together? What are you, a married couple? That's kind of adorable, isn't it? Me and Sayori have been teased pretty much ever since elementary for hanging out together. It got pretty bad for her in middle school, so I'm glad Sayori is able to handle it better now. Yeah, you guys are just jealous. Maybe just a little. And here's the hint. Yuri's obsessed. Maybe just a little. Well, we're off. See you guys around. Start heading toward the grocery store, which is a different direction than home. Sayori's been kind of quiet. One points toward it's not just a poem, be worried? Hey, Sayori? I turned to look at Sayori. Oh. Sorry, I was spacing out. You thinking about something? Actually, yeah, I was thinking about something from earlier. You were getting kind of comfy with Natsuki at the club. Now that I read it out loud, that's a really funny line. You're getting kind of comfy with Natsuki at the club. That's nice. You was at the club. Bottoms up when I first met you. Oh, and I was reading a manga with her after her breakdown. Right. Actually, I want to talk to you about that. Huh? Sayori, I need you to promise me something. What? No matter what I tell you, you will not talk about this with anyone else. Unless Natsuki herself says okay, got it? My dude, you're making me worry. I sigh. For good reason. Look, did you hear Natsuki at all before I started reading with her? It just sounded like she was being grumpy as usual. Did something happen? I think so, yeah. After getting mad at me for just trying to help, she apologized. Oh, well that's good. I mean, it would have been if it didn't come from an emotional breakdown. Seriously? I didn't hear anything like that at all. You might want to get your ears checked then. Anyway, after apologizing, she said that every day was really hard, and I'm pretty sure she tried to convey that the club might be her only safe space. Which I'm pretty sure is, like canon, the original game. So, did you know anything about Natsuki's home life? I tried asking her about it when we first met, but she was kind of dismissive. I thought she was just being shy. Alright. Thanks for telling me, Sayori. Remember the promise you made. We don't have enough information about our situation, and we really shouldn't pry into it. Do you think we should talk to Monica about this? I don't know. This is really complicated, and I don't know if telling more people would help or just make things worse. Then why did you tell me? Which, to be fair, Sayori, is a good question. Because I trust you. And I know that it wouldn't be healthy to try and take responsibility or whatever this is all by myself. We arrived at the grocery store. Hey, my dude. Yeah, what's up? So let's say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? I mean, does she even live in our direction? I don't know. Let's just say she does. What would you do? I mean, it'd probably be rude to say no for no good reason. What would you do? Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That doesn't connect to what I said at all. Don't tell me you have a crush on her, Sayori. Huh? I mean, you just brought up her looks out of nowhere, so how else am I supposed to take that? No, I was trying to... Another point toward not just a poem, be worried. So, the angle I'm going with here for this is, like, in the original game, I think it is canon that Sayori is into MC. And it could be possible that that is, like, merely an expression of depression of, like, MC is, like, the one good thing in her life, maybe, and that, like, she's about that. Or it really could just be she loves MC, because, like, that's just who she is. And so I am carrying that through. I'm still going with that. Even though, like, MC is now my dude. And I feel like my dude is a I'm not gonna say my dude's like a more attractive guy, because that's really like, you know, patting myself on the back for writing someone better than MC, but she likes my dude. And she is aware that Yuri, to a certain extent, likes my dude. Is the angle I'm going with. Because she was wondering why Natsuki was, like, chummy at the club, but, like, that was, like, the one sign of Natsuki might like my dude, is that she was, like, touching shoulders. And, like, Sayori already asked about that, and my dude was like, no, she's just having a really bad day. Like, of course I would do that. And I feel like Sayori, like, when given that reason, would be like, oh, damn, no, you're right. I would do that too. You're exactly right. And so that's like, I'm not gonna say obstacle one, but that's like, you know, competition one. That hurdle has cleared. And Monica, for obvious reasons, like, my dude doesn't really talk to Monica that much, so not on the radar. But Yuri, on the other hand, kind of is. Because my dude is very gentle with Yuri. Like, even like, in contrast to Sayori. Because Sayori's like, oh, and my dude, she has a thing for you against Yuri's wishes. While my dude is like, no, calm down, it's gonna be okay. And so I feel like even if Sayori isn't, like, even if Yuri doesn't go up to Sayori and be like, Sayori, I want to make out with my dude, I feel like she would either, like, she has good reason to assume that Yuri probably likes my dude. Even without, like, being told it. And she has, you know, stuff going on in her head that would make her imply, like, worst case scenario kind of stuff of, like, oh, I'm just gonna assume she does. And I'm gonna gauge how my dude feels about that. So that's the angle I'm going with for this scene. Hey, Sayori, yeah? Can I have dinner and breakfast with you for the rest of the week? Huh? Where'd that come from? Well, which would be the most convincing? Remember when I said I wasn't feeling that lonely at breakfast? Yeah? I might have been fibbing, just a little. My dude, are you sure you should keep spending time with me? This is such a bad grocery run. I'm not a fan. Well, yeah, of course I do. Who else is the club gonna pick on if we're not there acting like a married couple? Alright, my dude. And so this is my dude's objectives. I've got our food security handled, and I can keep a better eye on her, because he's worried about Sayori. He says as much. I think we've got all we need, so let's head out to the checkout and get home, make some grub. Yeah! Pay for the groceries and start heading back to Sayori's place. Not pictured Sayori's place. I'm still full from dinner at Sayori's. We made way too many burritos. Luckily, or maybe unluckily, Sayori was slightly more in character at dinner than she was at breakfast, the club, or the grocery store. I didn't tell her about what's going on with Yuri or Monica, though. It'd probably be too much. Speaking of Yuri... Hey, it's that thing I talked about earlier. My dude, can you hear me? Yep. So have you read all the way through, Markov? That's right. Well, I've only read through around 6 chapters. I managed to get a few chapters in after I went home from the club yesterday. And it's been kind of a trip. Eh? How so? Well, there's some pretty freaky stuff, yeah? Like in chapter 5 when Libby finds the research notes about the graft. It was, how do I put this? I guess intense would be a good word for it. Exactly. I love how the author is capable of fully immersing you in the world and giving you the exact same fear Libby has. As readers, we are just as powerless as her, which the author uses to their full advantage. That's actually a pretty good way of putting it. Really? I thought I was just rambling like usual. Don't sell yourself short. See, my dude is unwillingly feeding Raccoon Yuri. Hell, if you have this kind of confidence when presenting at the festival, you won't have a problem. The festival. I take it you're still worried about it? Yeah. The thought of so many eyes only looking at me. Well, if you want, I could give you that advice I promised earlier. Alright, my dude. I trust you. Alright, first, and this is probably the simplest thing you could do to help, drink some water. Water? Yeah. It's actually pretty common advice for presentations, and you'll often see little water balls in the hands of professional speakers. Drinking water is twofold in our case, though. First, it helps calm your nerves. Second, it'll keep your throat from being dry when you're reading your poem. So yeah, remember to hydrate. Alright. Second, I don't think you need this, but remember to practice your recitation beforehand. You seemed like you had a pretty good flow when you actually got into it, but those first few lines were a bit rough in the club. So maybe just practice psyching yourself up. Okay. I hear some sort of scribbling on the other end. Is Yuri taking notes? That's adorable. Third, and this isn't really advice, but mostly my experience with speaking in front of crowds. Huh? Well, see, back in elementary school, I guess I was kind of like you. Whenever it was time to show up our book report or whatever, I got really nervous. Butterflies in the stomach, a light stutter, the whole 9 yards. But then in like 7th grade or something, I sort of had an epiphany. An epiphany? Yeah. I thought about why I was nervous giving a presentation in the first place. And for me, it was sort of the expectations of it all. Especially since I was getting graded for it, literally by my teachers and figuratively by my peers. So I sort of just decided then and there that I wouldn't care anymore. I would just get up there and be silly. Obviously within reason, I still had to actually present the relevant course material and whatnot, but I sort of let go of this idea that I had to present in a way that people wanted me to. Instead, I would present in the way that I wanted to. And while there's still a slight hint of nervousness, it's way more manageable now. I could never do that. Do what? Decide to just be okay with presenting? It is a little reductionist when I put it like that. But your style, the one you showed off in the club today, was pretty good. If you just act like you, like how I decided to do in middle school, you'll do just fine. But what? If I think you're swell, then I'm sure other people will too. Hey, you were the one who said they trusted me earlier. Where'd the faith go? My dude, you are the only person in my life who said something like that about me. I'm sorry it took this long for you to find someone who cares, I guess. And you're welcome, you certainly deserve it. At that, Yuri sharply inhales. I guess this might be a bit much for her to handle. But Sayori... Sayori? What about Sayori? She... So... I'm deciding to give my dude wisdom beyond his years with this. This could probably only mean one thing. Based on what Sayori said in the grocery store, she thinks Yuri likes me. And based on what Yuri just said, she thinks Sayori likes me. And if they're both worried about that, and being considerate of that, then I've got quite the conundrum on my hands. Is that why they're acting weird? If so, then I really shouldn't have offered to eat with Sayori. Or give Yuri my contact information. Alright, what should I do? I'm not really interested in dating right now, and even if I was, just picking somebody would pretty much hurt everyone involved, including me. And that's under the assumption that they're only acting weird only because they like me. If there's something more going on, then I really shouldn't get entangled like that. And I think it's possible to misinterpret that line. Because I'm not saying that you know, my dude believes, or even that it is true, that you should not get involved with someone who has, like, a situation. Like, someone who has, like, a mental health problem, or, like, they... the Natsuki example, they have abusive parents, or the Monica example, they think they're God. I'm not saying that you should avoid people like that entirely and, like, never give them the time of day or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is my dude being way more confident than MC. Because when MC is faced with Sayori being like, I have crippling depression my whole life and it sucks, that he says, he has the option to say that he's like, oh, well, I'm going to be your boyfriend then, and I'm going to hug you and kiss you, and we're going to be all better, and I'm going to love you so hard you'll be fixed. And that is not how that works whatsoever. You don't fix depression. You can treat depression. You can, like, get help about it, but it can't fix it. And so, what I'm trying to convey here through my dude is that just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix them, is a really, really bad reason to start a relationship, and a really bad, like, goal to have. A really bad angle to lean into. And that's what I'm trying to convey, is that would be irresponsible. Okay, I think I'll try asking Yuri about today's poem and see where that leads. Hey Yuri. Oh, yes, my dude? I've actually got a question about your poem today. The one about the raccoon. Oh, what's your question, my dude? She's nervous about it. Bad omen. You remember how I said it was about, like, addiction or something? Yeah? Here goes. Well, you said that the truest form of writing comes straight from the heart, right? Did that poem come from the heart, Yuri? Yuri remained silent for a while. Not that I blame her. This is a deeply personal question. She has every right to refuse to answer, and I would respect that. Eventually, a quiet peep comes from the phone. Yes. Oh. More points toward it's not just a poem, be worried. Do you want to talk about that? We don't have to. You said you trust me, so I'll trust you on this, okay? I don't want to talk about it. Of course, I understand. Darn. Worth a shot. Hey, Yuri. You're my friend, okay? So if I ever make you feel too uncomfortable, let me know, okay? Oh, my dude. So anything else you want to talk about? I'm fine. Yuri sounds a little exhausted. Seems about right after the conversation we just had. Alright, you want to head out? Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. Right, my dude? Any spontaneous sickness notwithstanding? Yeah. See you tomorrow, Yuri. Goodbye, my dude. Hang up the call. And I thought things were complicated just after we shared poems. How naive I was. I've got a poem to make. Since they are using their poems to reveal their hearts, I'll try and do the same. Alright, we're back with Monica again. What's good, Monica? What's your Monica log of the day? Please tell me you are here. I'm feeling kind of awkward just talking to the air. Well, I'm pretty sure my dude isn't aware like I am now. When I first read his poem today, I thought it was a Natsuki root poem. But when I asked him about it, he denied it. Pretty calmly, I must say. Not at all the nervous wreck I expected him to be. But what's really convinced me he's not aware? He didn't react to getting puppeted by that thing. So, that's my explanation of, like, whenever characters speak through the glitch text. Is that question mark man is puppeting them to further the story along, get things back on track. Alright. Or say anything about how I was ripped into that. It was horrible. I don't think you want to know the details about that place. And that's Monica's referring to, like, the couple text box frames where she just, like, popped out of existence. Well, in other news, I've been doing some more digging into the game. I'm glad I can at least still do that. Anyway, I found what looked like character files. Except they aren't character files. They're more .asset files, but in a folder called actors. Which is true, by the way. That's metacanon. I've tried looking at editing them, but only the information relating to our visuals seems to be accessible. Also true, that is metacanon as well. Which is it's really a fun part of writing Monica. Because Monica is very is like the for Doki Doki fan stories, Monica is the elephant in the room. That like her presence alone sort of like has a gravitational weight to canon DDLC happening. Because Monica has her objective. She has her goal is to get to the player. Because like she wants to be a root, she's jealous, she's getting to the player. And she has the power to do it. Like the power to do it is huge. So like a lot of stories will say, okay, I'm not even gonna bother with that. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That is annoying to write. And I don't blame them, because that's like having a character like sort of be God is really inconvenient for traditional hero's journey and all that nonsense. So they just say, screw it, Monica's regular. Or at the very least, like they imply, like they never show Monica do anything of the sort, or like her awareness would be an Easter egg at the most. And like the alternative you have to that is you commit to the Monica bit, where Monica is aware and she has a lot of powers, and that there's the challenge of how do you write a story that's not about that. Because Monica, if she really wanted to, could just gravitate everything towards her again, because she has the power to do so. And so my answer to that problem is one, I use the meta context of this is a fan game and not Ren'Py to sort of neuter Monica a little bit, where she has to like relearn what's going on, and she doesn't have her toolbox. She only has one screwdriver to solve her problems, even if she has a bunch of nails. And so it's fun to like be like, yeah, I literally made this system. I know the folder called actors. I put it there, my brother in Christ. And so I can have Monica reference that. Which sort of throws for my first plane out the window. So yeah, the actors aren't editable. They don't have like character information edit. So here's the throws my first plane out the window. Here's where I'm saying Monica cannot change character files. She does not have that power. I've neutered that. I've nerfed that by having like by the nature of this world being different. That's my reason for that. I've also tried going through the sequences I talked about earlier to see how I can maybe edit those instead. And I noticed something strange. See, each sequence can end with a player choice, which is true. Metacanon. This is I'm literally explaining to you the systems I built through Monica. Makes sense, right? But the only sequences that you actually have a choice are the poem hubs, the ones where you pick someone to share my dude's poem with. So there are no routes. This is supposed to be a dating sim, right? Why would they spend time making the system to allow player choice just to never actually use them? Since there are no player choices, that means my dude is doing everything by himself. I thought my dude was just supposed to be your vessel, especially since I know he's not aware. I'll keep looking for things on my end. If by some miracle you get a choice, please take it. So yeah, I've established the power set of Monica's antagonist. I'm not gonna say the antagonist, but Question Mark Man is definitely Monica's antagonist. So Question Mark Man like has power over time because he like reset from Tuesday back to Monday to introduce my dude. He has power over actors in that he can puppet them and make them speak. And he has like straight up power over the sequences because he can just like say, Monica, you're blipped for now.